Hey, welcome back to the JeepSolid garage. Today's a big day. We're gonna make some more progress on the painting of my Jeep Wrangler YJ. I'm taking you guys through the whole process of how I'm doing that, all the obstacles, troubles, successes that we have. Be sure to subscribe so you can follow along and see how this turns out. My last paint job, the other Jeep I did, turned out great. Was super happy with it. This Jeep, I'm gonna paint it a bright green. I've got everything stripped off of it. We are ready to start sanding, so let's get to it. The first thing I'm gonna do, well, I've disconnected the battery, but I took a sheet off of our bed. I gotta get this done before my wife finds out that our sheet is missing, but who really uses a top sheet anyways? So I'll get this covered up over my nice engine because I don't want to get dust all over my engine. And when you sand like this, dust gets everywhere. Now I'm gonna push it out of the shop as well because that dust does get everywhere. I don't want it all over the shop either. So I like to do my sanding outside. And as I showed in the last video, yeah, I got the bumpers off, the lights all taken off, fender flares, everything, windshield. Yeah, that was a little bit of a pain, but we got that done. It's all looking good. I don't really care about dust getting on the inside in the cab here because I'll just blow that out. But yeah, I think we're pretty much prepped and ready to go. Now I'm going to be using this 6-inch random orbital sander. It's a must-have. You got to use a good random orbital sander. I've got 320 and 220 sandpaper ready to go because I only really need to scuff it up and take off all the clear coat. I will get down to some bare metal, but here's the hood and obviously the clear coat failure everywhere. So just gotta kind of scuff it up, get rid of the rest of the clear coat, and I think the 320 sandpaper will serve us just fine for all of that. And this was my other big investment to be able to do my own paint jobs and sanding, particularly the painting. The sanding, it helps as well, but you have to have a high output, larger air compressor like this for painting. This is a 60-gallon. It worked just fine for me, assembled in USA. That's awesome, although I think some of the parts are from China. It 175 PSI 2-stage and 11.5 SCFMs at 90 PSI. SCFM, I forget what does that stand for? Let's get the hose out here and get started. I'm starting with the 320. I think this will be just fine. Got a nice box here. What does this have? Like 100 sheets in it. My random orbital sander. I'll be sure to include Amazon links for all this in the description below. Check out all the paint supplies I have down there. Be sure to wear a mask, hearing protection. You just want to protect yourself as you're doing this. So this works really well for hitting all the flat surfaces. When you get to edges and corners, rounded spots, it'll cut through it really quick. So obviously you go a lot faster over those areas are a lot lighter. But we're gonna go through, hit as much as we can with this and finish it off with hand sanding. So I ended up switching over to my 220 grit sandpaper because the clear coat was failing, so I really wanted to make sure that I'm taking the clear coat off really well. So I'm gonna have to hit it with the 220 here and then come back and go over it again with the 320 because that's like the minimum before painting is the 320. And we're back another day. Sasha's got a little issue going on with her Cherokee, something that's been bothering her, irritating her. What's that?
The little latch on my, what is center console? Is that
Yep, your center console.
On my center console just broke off, so just...
Wobble, wobble, wobble. I bought Sasha a present, look! A new little latch. First, these little screws, these just kept coming undone because the front isn't secured, so go ahead, actually take that out. Oh. I want to put a little Loctite on there. Those are Sasha's hands, not mine. All right, give it a try. You might have to pull up on it a little bit. The latch is a little tight. So I think what we need to do, I'm going to try heating that up just a little bit and kind of bend the hook back just a smidge. All right, give it a try now. We melted it a little bit.
Much better.
Bent it. We're good to go. There you go.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Well, it's another day back in the shop working on the paint job on the YJ. It's actually been a few days. Had to go back to work my regular job, but now we're back at it. Hope to get some more progress done right now. One other thing I had done is I actually fell a tree in my backyard, and this YJ got to help with it a little bit. Here's a look at that real quick. So even though the winch is off the Jeep, it's still useful. Woo!
This way or go right straight across the center?
I'm saying 3. 2, look at that.
Yeah, that's the score.
But today we're back in the shop. I'm gonna get to some body work on this. I'm working indoors today because the weather's been kind of crummy. Actually got a little bit of snow a bit ago. Don't want to be out sanding this out there in that. So we're gonna be doing body work today on the inside. And fortunately, there's not a ton of body work to do. One of the things I need to pay attention to right now, I've got a little cracked fender right there. I don't know, something caused that to crack. I need to weld that up, grind it down, get it all nice and smooth. Then there's just a few other spots. You can't really tell on camera, but there's a dent right there. I kind of found that when you're sanding, obviously you can see high and low spots. So got a low spot right there, we'll pound that out. And then coming back here, this is gonna turn out kind of ugly, I'm afraid. I'm gonna kind of beat on that and bend it a little bit and kind of pull that out a little bit. It'll be hidden by the fender flare quite a bit, so I don't know, now's the opportunity. I want to just kind of straighten it out a little bit. I think I'm gonna lift that up and clamp it when I weld that. Oh, shouldn't have hit it there. There we go. And last time I had to weld on the body using an 18 gauge metal. See, my wire speed was 136, 15.5 volts, induction 7.5. That seemed to work out pretty well for me. We're gonna give it a try here again. I know this might come as a big shock, but I am not a professional welder. Just kidding, I am a total amateur. So I am open to any constructive criticism. One thing I do know is you don't want to get too much heat on this metal. You just burn right through it, so you want to do just little spot welds. So I think this will do fine. I'm going to grind it down, see what it looks like. Any tips or tricks? Leave a comment and let me know. And there we go. Not perfect, but I can live with that. That is definitely much better than it was. Not bad. And one thing I needed to mention, which I forgot to mention, is yes, I was sanding this with what, 320 grit, and it just really wasn't taking off the clear coat as much as I needed. So I jumped to 220 grit, a little rougher, and then that was even taking too long. And there were some spots that I just needed to get down to bare metal. So I actually went down to 150 grit. So I did sand this with 150 grit, and then now I'm gonna have to go up to 220 and then 320 to get it to that point of where I can finally put primer on it. Just wanna let you guys know that. It's turned out pretty good though, but I got a lot more sanding to do. And now this part back here, honestly, I don't know if I can just pull that out by hand. A little bit. Maybe if I pull on it and tap on it. Let's see what that does. Except I need to pull with my right hand. And yes, I'm sure there's a much better way to do this. You guys can let me know. Not super worried about it because it's hidden behind the fender flare here. Well, I think that's the extent of my body work back here on that fender. And motto I really like to go by in the shop is don't make it worse. I don't think I made that worse. Maybe it helped a little bit. Check out my next video right up here and have a good day.